Hi, hello, and welcome everyone. This is Hamsika, and you're watching my show Long Distancing, where we discuss mental health across a lot of professions. There's no second thoughts about photographs being the most treasured asset one can have to look back into memories. As much as we talk about being in the moment, there are also days when we feel like capturing them or being captured by someone. The role of a photographer is so important in every aspect, be it professional life or personal life. Another major aspect of a person's life is laughter. It's truly the best medicine, and not everyone can make people around them laugh. Our guest today is a combination of these two amazingness. He is a photographer who is primarily into weddings but has also shot a variety of events, one of the most prominent being the 2017 Femina Miss India's South Beauty Pageant. He was hired by Sandalwood superstar Ramesh Arvind sir to be a photographer on the sets of his movie Sundaraanga Jaana. He has also shot for a lot of local jewellery brands. Apart from being an amazing photographer, he is also a wonderful stand-up comedian who has done nearly 300 shows. I am super excited to get started with the show and talk about his journey and also handling the stress that comes with donning multiple hats. Without any wait, let's welcome our next guest on the show, Sandesh Kumar. Sandesh, hi and welcome.
Hi, Amsika.
How are
Thank
you
you for
doing?
having me. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this show. The first segment that I have for you is Unwind the Mind. So, I want to ask you, you have been in the industry for a long time, and can you share your experience about dealing with a lot of different clients? Sometimes they might be someone who is very demanding. Sometimes they don't probably listen to you, but they want the end result to be like, super perfect and everything, and they don't cooperate. And sometimes they might bargain for a lower cost and stuff. So, it is not easy to handle. I can totally imagine. So, how do you handle stress in those scenarios?
Surprisingly, not many people talk about uh, the stress part that comes along with the passion that you want to follow, right? So
Yes.
everybody, you can see many people say that, hey, why do you want to work 9 to 5 for someone else, for some other brand, wherein you can work 9 to 5 for your own brand and do what you love? I agree, but it also comes with certain conditions that if I take my example, I always thought, okay, learning photography is enough. I can shoot anything, right? I will just shoot it and people will pay me for the photographs that I'm going to deliver to them. But that's like hardly like 10% of the entire business is photography. The 90% is all about customer satisfaction, handling the client, understanding the requirement. Then, how do you say, like, the 50% of it is boring mundane jobs wherein you keep sending them invoices and then ask them to pay and so on and so forth. So it's hardly like 10% photography and the rest is all about running the business. More people should talk more about this part of following passion as well is what I think. So yeah, as you rightly said, there are people who are very specific, and believe me, that makes our work easier.
Okay.
Stress comes when stress comes when the client don't know what they want and we don't know what to deliver them, right? So there are many people. If I click a photo of them, a portrait photo of them, and if I show them, they can't really tell whether that photo is looking good or not. They always ask their friends, their cousins, and then say, and they take their word for it. So they don't know whether they are looking good or bad. So that's when the stress really comes for us photographers because we really have to convince them that no, this is really good and you're really looking good. Many times wherein clients have directed the entire shoot wherein the background was horrible, but still they insisted, no, no, you make it good. That's the order. That's the order that we get. It's like I say, no, that there is garbage in the background, there is dog poop in the background, and they say, no, you figure that out in the Photoshop. I want to stand here you are the professional, you make it better for us. So we have had such clients, but then at the end of the day, it's us who have to understand that there is creative satisfaction. That's one thing, and the other thing is going purely commercial, right? So client is the boss because they are paying us. We should just deliver what they say, they want. So yeah, so we should keep these two separately. As an artist, we should keep these two separately. So I'll be shooting a lot of things for my own satisfaction. I'll be shooting a lot of landscapes. I'll be shooting a lot of wildlife, bird photography. I'll be shooting a lot of insect photography. I'm fascinated with macro photography. So those things I'll be doing for my own creative satisfaction. And of course, I have my wife to pose for me for if I have some portrait ideas, and I will dress her up and then say, hey, I want this some light technique. I would want her to pose. So I have her as my guinea pig. So that's separate. Yeah, and this commercial aspect, this is separate. So as long as we keep them separate, there will be relatively less stress for us.
Yeah. And if you have had a stressful day, you have your little angel now, Pahi, to release all the stress. And she's a model in making. I can see that.
Absolutely, yes.
One thing, Sandesh, that I have to say is it blew my mind when I actually saw your post about you stepping into stand-up comedy, and you had posted about Pineapple Improv and your gigs, and I was so excited because making people laugh is literally not easy. So I have two questions for you regarding this journey of yours. With stand-up comedy, so much effort goes into scripting an act. Sometimes there are scenarios that doesn't turn up the way you want them to be, right? And you might have a joke or two, and the audience might not react to how you expected them to be. Talk us through those scenarios where you have to come up with something so fast, think on top of your mind, and also how do you deal with people not laughing at your jokes sometimes?
So there are two things, right? If someone wants to get into stand-up comedy, their first show will go great. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, is it that easy to make people laugh? Like, man, I mean, I did not even put enough effort into this. That might be the scenario. Or the second case wherein they are on the stage, they are saying a joke, and people are not laughing. And the artist, the stand-up comedian, is just sweating on the stage. Because when people are not laughing, you just start sweating, and you just wish that the stage just breaks, and then I go into the stage, and then, that's, let me die here. That is what each stand-up comic would wish for. Both, I would say the first scenario wherein your first show goes great is not good for any artist. Okay. Because there are certain things, there are certain mistakes that he or she will be blind to when that happens. So if I have to talk about my own journey, I knew from childhood that I was funny, because whenever I am around my friends, I used to crack a lot of jokes. Of course, when I was in school, I used to watch a lot of TV programs and then memorize those jokes. I wouldn't even write them down. I mean, it was so fascinating for me that a stand-up comic can put a bunch of words, and at the end of that sentence, people are laughing. That was so fascinating for me that somehow I had this photogenic memory only for those jokes, not for these mathematical functions or mathematical formulas or anything that that is related to our studies. But when I moved to Bangalore, one of my, again, school junior, you might have known him. He's Amit Anantakrishna. So he was performing with his group called Panchtantra. So he said, why don't you join us? And then at that time, my photography business was just picking up pace. So I said, hey, give me 2 years of time. Let me, settle with this photography business first, and then see if I have time, I can give it here. So after 2 years of time, I had good going with the photography business. I had some spare time to, check my luck in stand-up comedy industry. It was not really stand-up comedy when I first joined. I joined as an improv artist, wherein we just take a suggestion from the audience and then we try to come up with something funny on the spot. So that happened for about a year, and then I moved on to become a stand-up comic because one of my other friends, at this time it was like pandemic, right? 2020.
Yes.
So pandemic had started, and I was not performing any live improv shows. Kannada stand-up comedy. He said, "Why don't you write some stuff? We are doing this Zoom shows." So you can test your material and try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, no harm. And that's where my journey started. When I write something, I'm very critical about myself. When compared to many other comics who write something and they're like mind blown about the things that they have written. They're like, oh my God, did I write this? I mean, this is such a masterpiece. This is so funny and people definitely will laugh. That's the kind of confidence that some comedians have, but I'm very critical about my own thing. So even if the joke is good, I criticize it so much that I would end up, throwing that joke into the dustbin. So that used to happen, but luckily this producer guy, that Kannada stand-up producer guy that I told you about, he was more forgiving for those jokes. So he said, before you throw it to the bin, just let me know, let me be the judge of it. I mean, that's when I got some confidence, because I also trusted and respected him for the kind of shows that he had produced, right? So when he said, "Are you crazy? These are really good jokes. These are really good jokes." So people are not so stubborn. So people are very forgiving. So why don't you try these jokes, work on your delivery or whatever, like try these jokes and people will laugh. And I attended open mics for about 1.5 years.
Okay.
And then still I consider myself an open micer. So open mics are the places where these new comics can come and, they can try their jokes. Right? So the ticket price and everything is very less for those open mics because we ourselves, we don't know whether the joke will work or not, right? So it's like a lab for the joke. So for about 1.5 years, from 2020 to mid of 2021, I attended a lot of open mics because I was enjoying these open mics because there was no stress.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I was great at every open mic. Many open mics, I sweat like pig because my jokes were not working. The same jokes, the same kind of delivery, which worked like a show the day before yesterday, and then now it is not working. So I had to figure out why that is happening. Because and even after 1.5 years, I was still considering myself as open micer. But this producer friend of mine, he said, "No, you are ready for YouTube. So I'm going to record your set and put it on YouTube, and it's time for you to start writing new stuff." And then I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, I'm not, as I said, I was too critical about myself. So, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Dude, are you crazy? Let me put this out." So once the video was out and once like people started showing me, how do I say, they started trusting me as a comedian. I'm not saying that they were laughing, but they came to my show saying that, "Hey, dude, I'm going to pay 200 or 250 bucks. And I'm going to trust you that for the next 40 or 45 minutes, you are going to entertain me." So when that happened, I was like, "Hey man, if someone is ready to spend 250 rupees on me, that shows something, right? 250 might be a small amount or a big amount. It's all about perspective. But then if you are ready to give me your 45 minutes, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to make sure I will do anything to make you laugh." So I kind of got into that rhythm after like 1.5, 2 years. So yeah, that has been my journey. And today I'm confident enough that I can read a room. I'm not saying that I can make anyone laugh, but I can read a room and I have enough material to switch according to the people in the room.
Yeah.
So these are the things. Luckily, I even had some senior comics who helped me out in this regard. Because if there are like elderly married couple, they would want to hear some certain jokes. If there are college crowd, they would want to hear certain jokes. So I have enough backup now, and I'm confident enough that for about 300 to 400 people, I can entertain them for about 40-45 minutes.
That's wonderful. Now that you are a public figure, we all know being a public figure is not easy, right? And you have performed so many gigs on and off screen. And when people recognize you when you go out and they say nice things, that's one thing. And on the contrary, there are chances that you might as well get trolled. So, what is your take on this? And have you been in those situations, and how have you handled them?
My very first video when it came onto YouTube, I was expecting it to be so good because I knew that I'm different from many other comics of in my collective. Right, I had invested like closely around a month in that video, my first video, and then I was like, that was something like in looking back, it was a wrong thing on my behalf. I should not have expected anything from it because YouTube is such a medium that I say first of all it's free, and second the people who are watching that video may not be watching that video in a sense wherein, okay, this is a comedy video, I'm going to let my guards down and I'm going to just laugh at what this person is saying, because people will be like fighting with their family members with that frustration. They are looking at this video and they are not trying to laugh. And if I make fun of, let's say, engineer, and that guy is an engineer, and that guy is like, who the fuck are you? Like, how dare you talk about engineers like that? Each people on YouTube will have their own problems in life, right? So YouTube is not the medium wherein you should expect anything other than trolling. I learned it later on. Again, my producer helped me to understand this one. So yeah, when that first video released and people started trolling me, telling me that you are overacting and you are just, dancing on the stage and your jokes are not great and whatever, like all the horrible things that they say. I was like, I really took it very personally, and I started like overthinking so much that I again went back. As I said, I was criticizing myself so much while writing the joke. So when this happened, I criticized myself so much that maybe I'm not funny, maybe these people are right, maybe I should stop or whatever, all those horrible things. I spoke to many other comics on this one, many other comics who were trolled on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook for their jokes. When I spoke to them, they said the same thing, because YouTube is not a place wherein people are coming to see comedy. It's so different than the live shows. In live shows, people are not only paying, they are ready to invest 45 minutes to see you, right? Yes. So they are coming with their guards down. But YouTube is not like that. Anyone can get offended with anything. So I should not measure myself, my talent on the basis of the comments that I get on YouTube. That was stressful, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Online is very stressful, yeah.
With the amount of hard work that goes into scripting all those and delivering them, and then people come back with all this trolling.
Yeah.
That was an amazing segment one. So thank you for sharing all your stories. So we'll do something fun now. I have some fun questions for you that I would like to ask. We'll start our segment 2, which I have named Need the Speed. So it's like rapid. So who is your favorite Tharle from the TharleBox team?
Oh, my favorite Tharle are not just one. I cannot take one because their style is so different that I cannot. It will not be justified if I just take one name. I'll say a bunch of names. Okay, so my first favorite is obviously Dirup Mohan. I just loved the way he can communicate a joke within 3 lines. I just love the way there is something called as economy of words when you're writing anything, right? Every writer will know about this one. So it's like, what's the minimum number of words that you can use to convey something?
Yeah. Okay.
It's not a podcast, right? So you cannot keep going. So
Exactly.
I just love the way he is able to picture an entire scenario to you within those 3 lines, and then you also have your punchline. So first is Nirupan, of course. Second is his video is not yet out, but I have been following him since last 10 years. His name is called Vamsidhar Bograju. I am a huge fan of his body language, his expressions. I take a lot of inspirations from the way he delivers his jokes. So keep an eye on the channel because his video will be out very soon, right?
Okay.
And this third guy I love is this new guy called Anto. Anto comes with this unique accent, Kannada accent. And again, I just love the way he writes his jokes in 1 or 2 lines. So that's something that I can't see myself doing. I appreciate them. So I can't see myself doing such a scripted and such well organized way of delivery. So I admire these people a lot.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so going back to photography, right? So would you prefer maternity photo shoots or wedding photo shoots?
Maternity or?
Wedding. Like pre-wedding photo shoots.
I would prefer pre-wedding.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so would you rather debut in a big budget movie alongside a superstar or be a judge on a stand-up comedy show?
Oh wow. Yeah, be a judge on the stand-up comedy show because as it is, I'm not too keen on acting side. Right now, I'm enjoying this stand-up comedy journey, so I would rather be a judge on the stand-up comedy show because even after so many years of performing, I'm still hungry to see what a new comic can say. You know, what is it what new perspective can someone say that can make me laugh?
Oh, okay. Wonderful. An actor or actress you would like to do a photo shoot with?
Actor or actress I would like to do a photo shoot with? Hrithik Roshan for sure. He's been a man crush ever since he came to the film industry. Kaun Pyar Hai, he is my favorite, all-time favorite. Actress, I would like to shoot Kiara Advani.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think she has this feminine features when it comes to expressions. She can rock ethnic dresses, she can rock colorful. I mean, I would like to do like a shoot wherein she is dressed up with all the Indian states ethnic dresses. And I think she will rock in each and every one of them. So,
All of them.
yeah.
Yeah, true. Even I love her. Okay, so of all the crowd works that you have done so far, which has been your most favorite?
The most favorite was the one that I did soon after my videos release. So I had this, initially I had around 40 minutes of content, which we put on YouTube in like a section of 10 to 15 minutes. So we had put 3 videos. So soon after that video went out on YouTube, I did not have like a scripted material for 40 minutes. So I said, hey man, I really want to do this crowd work show wherein like for the 40 or 50 minutes, I'm just talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
So let's do that. And my producer, obviously, he agreed, and it's a funny story in itself. So when we put out the poster, we usually put out the poster a week before the show. So when we did that, hardly like 8 to 10 people booked. And it was a 60-seater auditorium that we had done. Because like tomorrow is the show, and till today there are only like 10 tickets booked. And producer was like, sir, what to do? Like only 10 people booked. Should we cancel the show and whatever? I said, no, don't cancel the show. Even if 10 people are coming, I'm going to do crowd work for those 10 people. It will be very private kind of a show for them, for sure. Because For 60 minutes, I'm talking to only those set of 10 people, right? So, but then I don't know what happened, right? The day, it was a show on Sunday. Sunday morning, people started booking the tickets. It was a 60-seater, but then we ended up selling 80 tickets. And we had to send 10 to 15 people back because there was no place to sit.
No place.
So, yeah, that was a very, for me, it was a beautiful moment because and this was like marketed as a crowd work show. So people knew that I needed to talk to them.
Yes.
Right? So even then, like, imagine like 80 people who came and then they sat there thinking that this guy will talk to us. Towards the end of the show, I had missed to talk to a group of 4 women there. Okay. So I'm talking to so many people and then I had missed it. Towards the end of the show, those 3 or 4 women, they said, "Hey, you have not spoken to us, talk to us."
Oh, that's
so for me, this is beautiful because there are people who want the comedian to make fun of them.
Yes.
Like that shows that they're so comfortable in my show. So that was supposed to be 60-minute show, but I ended up performing for 100 minutes. So almost like an hour and a half, right? Yeah. So, and still people were sitting, they were not looking at their watch. So that was like the best crowd work show that I have done. And I have not been able to do that again because for various reasons, but I want to go back to that format again.
And as a performer, that's like a feather in your cap. It's like people are waiting for you to make a joke on them.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm in one of those shows. Hopefully, one day.
Please do. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so do you read all the comments your videos get? Like if it's on YouTube, you go and read all the comments that's on there?
I used to do it, but then I used to put myself in a very bad mood for like 2-3 days when I did that. But then now I have grown a thick skin towards that, right? So initial 15 to 20 comments, I kind of get a gist what they're talking about. What I make sure is in that 10 to 15 rude comments, if there is one guy who says, "Hey man, don't worry about the comments, I really loved your show," I make sure to reply to that comment saying that, "Thank you man, thank you for the kind words." Because that guy has taken an effort in the middle of that, chaotic and rudeness or whatever you call it. He has taken an effort to make me feel good, right? Yes. I would rather acknowledge that. Because there is no point in acknowledging other things because they will just keep on ranting about why I'm good, right? So I do that. And second, if there is someone who is criticizing me in a very, how do you say, like they are like listing out the points why that particular joke did not work. That's very helpful because they are taking effort to like critically thinking and writing, "Hey man, maybe if you had given a pause here, that would have worked. Maybe, so I understand where you're coming from, but next time try this and try that." And they would have set like 5 to 6 points of how I can improve. For that, I'm damn sure I'm replying them saying that, "Thank you so much. I'm taking all these feedbacks and thank you so much. Hope to see you in my next show." Something of that sort. So I will make sure I attract more of such comments.
Yes. Okay, so if our Sandalwood's Navarasa Nayaka Jaggesh sir is sitting in one of your crowd work shows, what would you ask him?
What would I ask him? I would rather not talk to him at all because I know that he is thousand times funnier than me, right? I will never be talking to him for sure because I know that, see, 2 things. Either I can be like, if I talk to him, I know that he's going to come up with something witty, and if that's good for the show, I would rather do it. But then most of the time, in such show formats, people expect the one with the mic to be in power.
Yes. Okay.
So I know that guy is going to ruin my show. I will not talk to Navarasa Nayaka Jaggesh for sure. But then after the show, I will sit with him and talk to him for hours together, asking feedback or whatever, because he has so much to give for the new age comics for sure. Because even today, if he's holding the mic, he's damn funny. He can make any generation laugh.
Laugh.
So he's all time funny. So I would rather, I mean, after the show, I will take him home. I will keep him with me.
Keep him with you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So can you mimic any of the movie artists?
Movie artist.
Any actor can you mimic?
I can, but I would rather not because it's been so long that I have mimicked anyone for now. Try to mimic Mukhyamantri Chandru because when I started, when I was in school, when I started mimicry, I used to love doing mimicry of Mukhyamantri Chandru. So, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಆಡಳಿತ ಪಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ನೀವು ಇನ್ನೂ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೆಂಗಸರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಫ್ರೀ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಟ್ಲು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆಡಳಿತ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಮಾಡೋದು. Yeah, I would rather do that. Yeah.
Oh,
He was my favorite.
have you ever met him in person? Mukhyamantri Chandru?
Mukhyamantri Chandru? No.
No. I am sure he would love this.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so last question. If you have to choose between photography and stand-up comedy, which one would you choose and why?
I would choose stand-up comedy for very practical reasons because photography is a very physically demanding job.
Yeah, can you?
Right? So it depends on how good how much of stamina you have for any kind of shoot for that matter, right? Even if it is a simple shoot of shooting jewelleries at your own comfort, at your home with lights, it's still a physically demanding job. Like until you get that shot, you will have to, keep shooting. Second, it's not just clicking. You will also have to sit and edit your photos, right? So it's a long process. So I would rather sit in a comfortable chair, write my thoughts, and then go on stage, say those thoughts for about 20 minutes, see if people are laughing or not. If they are not laughing, I get the immediate feedback, right? So I come back, I write again with my comfort of my whatever. What I'm saying is writing jokes is not so physically demanding as photography. So I would rather do stand-up comedy than photography. And because I'm damn sure when I turn 50, I cannot do photography because God knows how my eyesight will be at that point of time, right?
Yeah.
If your eyesight is not good, then you cannot do that. So I would rather do stand-up comedy.
Awesome. So that was amazing on questions. Wonderful. So we are nearly in the last segment of the show. Like if you look back at your life and you would have some key takeaways and learnings, right? So from your experience, what is it that you would like to say to people who are going through their own struggles and that you think might help them in some way?
Many times what happens when you are growing up, when you are, let's say, a baby, and then you start growing up as a kid, you will not have your own inner voice. You will not know what is an opinion. You cannot answer the whys of all the questions. If I'm happy, if a kid is happy, if I go and ask that kid, why are you happy? That kid cannot give me an answer because it's an emotion that he does not know why he or she is feeling. So at that point of time, what happens is our inner voice becomes the voice of others around us. Many a times we struggle because it starts with our parents. Lucky are those whose parents are very supportive, and then the supportive parents' inner voice that makes a kid really, really confident. Because that's the inner voice. Whatever we say to those kids, That becomes their inner voice. So for me, my mom was very critical. So that's the reason why whenever I write a joke, I criticize it so much that I need another person to say that, hey man, like, don't punish yourself so much. It's actually good. So I would, people who are right now are trying to achieve anything, and if they have self-doubt, because that's what I go through each and every day even now. If they have self-doubt, take a moment. Don't let your inner voice just dictate what you are, right? Take a moment, calm down, and then say, maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking. Maybe. I'm not saying that have a blind opinion saying that, hey man, I'm good. No matter what, I'm good, because that becomes like you're arrogant. Because you still need to be humbled and then, sane enough to take the right feedbacks for you to grow as well, right? So it's all about finding that balance. So many people, they struggle, they punish themselves so much, they criticize themselves so much that they think that they are not good enough or they don't deserve the best. There's nothing like that. Just take a moment, pause, just give it one iota of doubt in yourself, saying that, what if this is good? What if I deserve this? Right? What if I get success in this one? So just that one what if, just go search for it. What if? It's okay if you fail. Because anyway, like 99% of your inner voice is saying that you're going to fail, right? So it's fine. Just work towards that 1% of that voice which is saying, what if you succeed? What if you get happiness out of this? Because if at the end of it you do succeed, that 1% will just hold your hand and it will take you throughout your life, for sure. So I know it's too late, because for them, like, to change their inner voice, it takes a lot of therapy and whatnot. I'm not an expert in that, but what I'm saying is just give yourself a chance. Because what if it's good for you? What if, what if good happens to you? So give it a chance, and life's not life's not that bad as we assume it is. Life's unfair. I'm saying that life's unfair for sure, but it's not always, right? It's not like you step out and a bus hits you. It's not like that. So yeah, so it's not too bad. So just understand that everything takes time, and then you deserve goodness as well. So I would say that.
Yeah, and I love what you said, that maybe it's not as bad as you think it is, because that makes a lot of difference when you actually give it a thought. No. No, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this today for the show. Had an amazing time learning all the things.
It's a wonderful initiative that you are working on, and I just wish you all the success. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Sandesh. Thank you so much. And thank you again for being a part of this show. That was an amazing episode, and I'm sure you would have taken something out of it. Keep watching and supporting us as we make an effort to know about more professions and the way people deal with the stress in all those professions. And if you have experienced something similar and you had your different ways of coping with stress, let us know in the comments below what you did to deal with it. Keep checking on your loved ones and take care.